broadcast, our first official broadcast. We just like to welcome y'all to it. We're here to discuss a few things and just have some fun. So we hope that y'all can, have some fun with us. I wanted to first bring up how I felt about E3 this year. It was kind of weird. I was watching. I will admit I didn't watch it all. I watched a little bit of it, and what I watched seemed weird. There was a couple times where like the I guess whoever was hosting it at that moment when they were talking about their game or their product, it's like they missed cues and they missed their lines. And a couple times one time they in particular they brought this guy who was a YouTube creator on, and he just stood there like dumbfounded. He didn't know what to say. It was like he completely missed his lines. And then I was watching the Bethsaida. I think that's how you pronounce it. I was watching some of their E3, and I was like, this is nothing but fluff. It's like just hype. Does anybody else feel like that when it comes to E3? That it's just like a hype show. There's not really nothing important that we really need to see.
That
When
would be
when it comes
Lurk's
up.
Really like that
department.
sometimes.
Yeah, it
I
seems like
noticed that.
it
Seems
seems
like
like what they would do is they would just do fluff it up to get you to buy into it. Oh, pre-order
yeah.
and see how the game is, and then end up whenever the game comes out, it has like just a bunch of bugs and glitches in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
I
it
Yeah.
mean,
starts.
well, I mean, to be quite honest, I understand E3. They're trying to sell out their products. They're trying to get profit and everything else like that. So it's understandable what they're trying to do, but they're not doing it in a way that's applicable when it comes to their customers. And means of that, you pretty much don't try to fluff it up. Just give us what we need. Just give us the content just to show us what we want in the first place. We didn't come to E3 to hear your fluff, to hear how fake it is, because they even did that with the first Destiny. They
Yeah,
pull
yeah,
out
I
all this
remember that.
fluff. Even with the Division, they put out all this fluff and fake content out, and finally, whenever they get the product out, it's not how it seems. Why? Because they got all this backed up that's fake, instead of just giving what we really need and what we really desire as gamers, period.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just,
Yeah, that's
it's
understandable.
not their E3, when it comes to Microsoft or any E3 for that matter. And I personally like the Nintendo E3,
I didn't
but
see
when it
that.
comes to,
That's the one I
Yeah,
missed. I
their,
did not see it.
yeah.
I didn't see that.
yeah, their E3 is, it's real. I mean, they actually give us they actually give us the content that we need. They actually explain things and everything else like that, like they usually do. But they don't put all that fairy tale fluff in it that
Hype, hype.
Microsoft and a little bit that Sony does as well.
Hmm.
But when it comes to Microsoft, it's just they they
I
give
don't.
all this
You know
fluff.
what? But Lurt,
They try to
I don't think I can just label Microsoft on that because I watched a couple. I watched EA's. I watched Microsoft's. I didn't
Oh,
watch all of Microsoft. I only watched a little bit of that. I'll get into that in a
right.
minute. And I watched Bethsaida. And it was like when I watched those three, I kind of I watched Ubisoft. I'm sorry. When I watched those, I was kind of done at that point. I really didn't want to see anymore because I felt like I felt like they was trying to sell me a car. You know what I'm saying? I felt
Right,
like they was
right,
trying to have me pre-order like some vehicle. They had all this. Well, look at the shiny this and yeah, and look at the graphic that. And it was like, well, you know what, bruh? Every time and Trip hit on it right on the head. Every time a game is released after E3, it looks or it the its an initial impact is nothing like how it was at E3. It's nothing like
right,
it. It's
right.
like he
No,
said, it's
yeah.
buggy, it's messed up, and it's and then you got to wait for additional content. They don't really tell you about all the DLC that you're gonna have to purchase
right.
alongside of it.
Afterwards,
They just tell you, oh, it's this and it's that. But then if you notice what they're doing nowadays with games is they're having you buy the deluxe edition, which is basically you're buying two games. You're spending the money for two games and only getting
Oh,
one. This is one of
right.
the reasons why RotoHeadz shines so much as far as bringing content to the viewers, because what it does is it goes back to when I consider gaming was fun. Now, some people don't really like retro gaming or they don't like when gaming, past consoles, but everybody got their own taste. But this is when you got straight up and down your game. You own the game. You paid for it. You got everything in the game. Bam. The only thing that I can say that I like about nowadays gaming, yes, is the graphics, yes, is the sound, but I do like the ability to update. But you got to remember, when old school games was released, there was no need for an update. Think about it. How many games really needed an update after they were released?
Yeah.
Not many. Not many. I can't
Mhm.
even really think of maybe one. But that's how I kind of feel about it. What y'all take on that?
I mean,
Mm,
like, honestly, I do like the updates and stuff like that, but I have to agree with you as far as the how the old games are and how you don't even have to update. It's like once it's there, it's there. You don't have to worry about, oh, this taking up the space and all this stuff. Like you just got your game and there you go, enjoy it.
For
yeah.
sure.
So
One thing I actually really like, this is just my opinion, but I really like downloadable content but my problem with it is that they could have like given it like just included it with the game at release. But I
yeah,
feel like what they did with downloadable content, like nowadays games, is that they thought of the idea while they was developing this, but they was like, wait a minute, we could sell it separate for more money.
Hmm.
Just
pretty
just
Well,
much
just or
everything that they do
just
nowadays is for
release it
money.
later. Um um whether you know or not, maybe that they actually like got the DLC ready. They just released it later to look like it's just downloadable
well,
content
that's
that's completely new.
Yeah.
that's what a lot of people believe that Destiny had did. It was that they already had the content ready. A matter of fact, let me go back a little bit. I believe it was either I think it was Street Fighter 5. They already
Yeah.
had the slots for the characters, and the characters were already in the game. You just could not access them until the DLC release date. So it was like, wait a minute, bro. I already got the characters. Why are you making me pay for it when they're already there? I just can't access them. So this is what gaming has become nowadays. It's been the spinoff, and along with what you're saying, Trip. This is the other thing I noticed. It's like they're giving us a half a game. They're making everybody pre-order, so they get their money initially. Once they get their money, they're like, okay, well, we'll just trickle it down the pipeline, and when we get it done, you get it. You know what I'm saying? So they get from the door, they get people to buy into it. And lurk. This is why I think the hype show and the fluff is all out there like that. Is because
Yeah.
they're trying to get people psyched about the game. Then they get in half of the game, and then through updates, because usually when a game is released, within a week or two, they're hitting updates. It's like, wait a minute, I just got this game. Why do I have a 5 gig update? What is this about? The game just came out. What are you updating?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then like I said, and then after that, it's like, you get DLC. They give you got to buy a season pass for almost half the amount, or sometimes more than half of the amount of the original price of the game in the first place. So you got a
Yeah.
game, and then you're paying $49 or $39 for a season pass. It's like, bro, am I in an amusement park or something? Now you're offering me season passes. What is this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I thought I bought this. I came to buy this game, and I was gonna have fun with the game. But you making it where I gotta wait in line, and play the game. When you release it. That's kind of corny to me. So. But I don't
Right.
know, man. I guess this is what gaming has come to, but this is why I enjoy past games so much, man. So, that's
Right.
just how it
Yeah.
is for me, bro.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
got to make their money
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah,
I
that's
Yeah.
mean,
true.
yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
much
but
Yeah.
everything nowadays is how they do things nowadays is because of money some way.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, all right, let's take it like this, so right. They got to make their money somehow, but think about what they're really doing to the fan base. The people that are supporting them, they're actually ripping the people that are supporting them off. So year after year, people are becoming more and more cautious. There's only so many times you can slap somebody and say I'm sorry without thinking that you're gonna get slapped again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that gaming is making us feel like we're in an abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well,
Yeah.
dang, Mo. I mean, how many times I gotta get beat up before I call the police? It's like,
Yeah.
I just feel like they need to have a different approach when it comes to releasing their content. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way.
And you know what? Look, check this out, right? The one game company that I can say, even though I'm not hot on it, one game company that I can say that has done that well is the Halo franchise. You know, they're releasing
Yeah,
free
Oh, Bungie.
DLC. Yeah, well, no, not Bungie, not
no, actually,
Bungie,
Oh.
not Bungie.
not
That's
Bungie. Three
yeah,
four three, I believe. Yeah, three four three.
343.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
They're releasing free DLC, and that's cool because that makes you want to hang on to the game, and that gives the game more of a longevity. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it takes a lot of money to develop this downloadable content, you know what I'm saying? But think about in the long run, you're offering your customer base these free DLCs. They're going to have a tendency of wanting to buy the next game because they're going to get the DLC free again. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you're
Just like
actually bringing loyalty back to your consumer. So that's just what I got to say on that, man. Please change some things,
Honestly.
bruh.
yeah,
Honestly, I
some
agree with
things.
you.
Well, another game that does free DLC is pretty much a couple people say I'm obsessed with the game, which is not true. But Titanfall, they do that
Oh
free
boy!
DLC
Oh
stuff.
my goodness!
there we go.
King over
I'm telling
here.
you,
Leave that
I'm
Yeah.
boy
telling you, they
alone.
do. I'm telling you, they do free DLC, and is so cool. Like you don't like say for instance they what they did with the first Titanfall, they had it to kind of what Destiny did, where they had like separate DLC packs and you're not even getting the full experience or anything like that. But whenever they made the second Titanfall, they pretty much just listened to the community. They had a single player campaign which was off the chain. They have a free DLC content and more free maps, so people can stay tuned to the game, and just like Prime said, eventually buy the new one that they're going to make.
Yeah, well,
Is
you know what? I'm with you on that trip. I ain't even want to stunt. I'm not a Titanfall player. It's not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. I actually think it's pretty cool. My thing is, I like things that are more strategic. So when I just seeing people bouncing all off walls, jumping into Titans, smashing over here, I mean, invisible over there, it's like, oh man, oh my goodness, man, I feel
Too
like I got
much.
ADD. Yeah, it's just like too many things is going on at one time, and it's trying to keep up with all that. It's like, bruh,
Yeah.
but he's good at it. He knows how to handle that, and I've watched him
Yeah,
play, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, man,
he's
how does
crazy.
he? How does he
Yeah.
like can catch on to like what's going on like almost behind him? But I'm with you. Like we're saying, the free DLC is something that brings about a good, consumer base. It brings loyalty back to your customers. And the other thing that I notice is that they have the ability to create what they call servers or channels, or what is it called, Trip? That you can make in Titanfall.
networks.
Networks, that's it.
Networks.
Where you're
Yeah.
able to actually make networks. Now, that's one of the things that I was kind of mad that nowadays consoles and well, not consoles, but nowadays games have removed. And we'll just talk about Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 3. What they did is they allow you to buy a server. That's not cool.
What?
Yeah, I don't
What?
think that that's cool at all. I don't want your server. I don't want to purchase your server. I don't want to rent your server. I got my own rig sitting right here. Why can I not set up a match or a server so me and my friends at any point in time can play? Oh, I forgot because you want my money. I forgot because you want to, take every dime I got. So that's the problem. It's like they removed what made gaming so good. We go back to United Offensive, the original Call of
Yeah.
Duty,
Call of
Call
Duty
of Duty
2.
2. Yeah,
Oh.
that's when you could create a server right there. You can bring mods on the server. You had Punk Buster to keep people from cheating. You had moderators and you had admins. They would sit right there and play alongside you. There would be others that would spectate you. So it just brought a community around the game and it made it more enjoyable. You didn't feel like you was always a customer of someone. You felt like you were a part of a community. So I am glad the Titanfall does that, and I think other games need to pick that up a little bit more. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I really, really hope. Speaking of Call of Duty 2 and everything else like that, Now, Activision, they're bringing something out new. It's Call of Duty World War II. A lot of people heard about it and everything else like that. But the thing that I'm worried about is I'm just hoping they bring back this element of how Call of Duty 2 used to be. And based on the gameplay, based on all the reviews and everything else like that, it actually looks like this is what they're trying to do. This is their focus of trying to bring back the old style that got them so famous in the first place. And if
Hmm.
they do this, I'm telling you, so many people from the old days that's on Call of Duty 2 right now still playing, I bet they're going to jump on this quick. And of course, the new players is going to be playing World War II as well because this game just it looks crazy good. And of course, they're doing a release with beta if you pre-order it. Um,
Pre-orders, pre-orders
yeah,
again,
pre-order.
pre-orders. Oh
Yeah,
my
you get
goodness.
a beta, you pre-order it.
Freeloader,
Now the release
freeloader.
date is saying that it's on November 3rd on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Uh, and of course, there's some bundles along with that on Black Friday.
Hmm.
But
Well, let me ask you this: do you think that they're doing that World War II because of the way that Battlefield One was received, and when they dropped their theme pack of, I mean, when they came out with the theme of World War One, you think they're just kind of trying to piggyback on something on someone else? Because that's what. Let's get honest. That's what Call of Duty has done for years now. All of a sudden, they would see the success of someone else, and they would just implement that into Call of Duty. It was like, dag man, I feel like this is Attack of the Clones, bruh. If I want to play that type of game, I'll get on the game that you're emulating. I don't want to. I want Call of Duty to feel like the original Call of Duty. So if this does bring it back to the original base of what was set in the first place, I'm all for that. But I'm just kind of nervous that they're trying to follow the stream. You know what I'm saying? Follow the crowd, follow where oh, well, they're successful on this, so let's us do it since we already got a big name. Well, your name ain't gonna be too big if you keep doing the same thing, Attack of the Clones on everybody.
see,
That's
So
true.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking the same exact thing whenever I heard about it, but I got more interested into it, and whenever I start looking at the trailer, I was like, oh boy, here we go, Activision, is this another copycat? But
mhm.
I looked
Mhm.
more into it. I looked more into it. I looked into the gameplay and everything else like that. And this story, I'm sorry to say, but and I love Battlefield.
Yeah.
Battlefield, in my opinion, I've been playing Call of Duty longer than than the Battlefield franchise and everything else like that. But this one right here, World War Two, it looks way different than Battlefield One storyline. It's crazy. It feels like Fury when you're just watching the
Oh,
trailer. It
okay,
feels
okay,
it feels
yeah.
real. It feels like oh my goodness
Well, you know what? I
type
was
type
liking that
deal.
movie.
It's just
Well, all of us was digging Fury. That movie was, ooh, man.
man. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, this feels exactly like that. It feels real. It based on what they're saying, based on what they're doing, and when it comes to the storyline that they revealed in the trailer, this what it seems like that they're implementing. But of course, it can be fluff. We don't know. We just gotta find out when it comes out. Now,
Hmm.
whenever I looked at the multiplayer gameplay, it looks great. It doesn't look like Battlefield um
Is it the
Battlefield One
original
at all.
weapons from World War II like we used to play in Call of
It's
Duty,
like
Call
the
of Duty 2?
original weapons. It's like the original weapons from Call of Duty 2. Even when it comes to the machine guns, um,
Oh.
and
The
everything else
Car
like that. Now the
98s,
only thing they have that too.
oh my goodness, so crunchy.
That
Ooh.
the bow action
Wow.
those bow action sniper rifles that they used as well.
The BAR,
Um, is something like that.
MP44.
I don't know about all that,
Oh, come on, man. They
but
PPSH.
gotta give it to me, bro.
Give it, give it.
Yeah, hey,
I
I'm
will
with
say
you, Silk. High five.
I will say one thing though. They did kind of copy Battlefield when it comes to their stabbing, when it comes to them
Yep.
doing execution
Bayonet.
on someone, when it comes to their bayonet execution. But it just their bayonet. I will say their bayonet execution looks better than Battlefield. If that makes sense. It's like they're copycat. It's like they're copying. that that move, but they made it better. That's what it seems like, or
Okay.
whatever.
My
Okay.
problem with that is I don't like seeing people copy other people. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, that can be for
Yeah,
anything.
that's
But
pretty
since we're
annoying
on
sometimes.
this, since we're on the subject of gaming, like, what's the point of copying somebody? The whole point of making a specific game is to be original, not to copy somebody and get somebody to buy your product. I mean, what's the point? If you're looking at this in a customer situation, I look at the original. It looks cool, nice, awesome. I look at the copy. Why is this copy like this original? What's the point of buying this copy if I can just get the original and have a greater experience?
Oh, that's for
Yes, this
sure.
may look better. It may look better graphic wise, and it may have like a little bit different stuff. But what's the point? I can just get the original and have a better experience than with this. So that's just my issue with that. It may look better, but I just don't like seeing anything being copied. It's one thing to be inspired by it, but it's a total different thing to just be completely just a copycat. I can't stand that in my opinion. So
Yeah.
Hey, I'm 100 with
Yeah,
that.
I agree.
I agree. I still never understood, um, especially especially a franchise like Call of Duty. That boggled my mind. I thought maybe other companies would try to copy Call of Duty, but if you notice, what they did was they lost their momentum when they started doing that, because it's like they ran out of ideas. What I
mhm.
and here, this I'm gonna spin off on it, but it's still Call of Duty. The thing that was unique about Call of Duty that they did, that Treyarch did, was release zombies. See, it was like,
Yeah.
okay, now there
Oh
you
my
go. There's
goodness.
something unique. There was
Mhm.
something unique about Call of Duty again. But if you notice, then the other Call of Duties are trying to make zombies. It's like, no,
Yep,
leave
This
Treyarch
is
to
what
do
they do in
that.
Cold
You
Exactly.
see
War
what I'm
Two.
saying? Why is Treyarch? I mean, why is
Sledgehammer,
Sledgehammer,
I
or
think.
why is Infinity Ward messing around with zombies? Infinity Ward did survival mode, and that was cool, because that, remember when you had to survive the waves of dudes who would come, and you can open up certain crates and get weapons and stuff like that. That was cool. They should have left it like that.
Oh
Leave
yeah.
Treyarch to the zombies, because that's what they did. They had a storyline built around the zombies. They had four main characters who you was following, and instead of just releasing a couple of the zombie maps in the Chronicles, man, I think they should have just waited and just released all their zombie maps in a huge chronicle, and made it for, the a price of the full game. Just made it a
60
game
bucks.
beside, yeah, and I would have bought it.
Mhm.
I would have bought it
I
because it
would
was
buy it, yeah.
something unique about it. The other thing that I really don't like, that Call of Duty has done, is their way of trying to um, get you into buying pieces of a game that you don't even want. Let's take
Oh.
Infinity Warfare. The only reason I bought Infinity Warfare was for Modern Warfare
Modern
Remastered.
Warfare. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was like I didn't want it for any other reason. Now Trip just tells me 2 weeks ago that they about to drop that as a single package. It's like, wait a minute, hold
Yep,
up. Now
a
they done ganked
standalone.
me. Yeah, they done ganked me for this, what, $70? No, $80. $80 for that.
Yeah.
I didn't even want your little package. I did not want that. All I wanted was Modern Warfare Remastered. But now you're gonna release it at full price, $59.99, talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna drop this on y'all. You know what I'm saying? We looking
That
out
sounds
for
like
you. You
you
know what I'm
went
saying?
against your own rule.
I know so.
Oh
I
yeah.
know so.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
wasn't gonna do it, but remaster, baby. You know what I'm saying? Remaster. They got me. They got
Remaster.
me. And see, that was the jack up thing about it, because they knew they was gonna get me. They knew they was gonna get multitudes of people, because that was their way of doing it. Now, I don't know if this is just another one of them situations where people are just talking and hoping for something, but I heard that they was gonna do that for Modern Warfare 2. They were going to be
Oh
remaster
man.
it,
Say
and they were going to
what?
link it. I just heard that. Don't mean it's going to be, but I heard that they were going to remaster that, and they were going to link it to one of their other games. And I'm like, man, please don't do that trash no more. Just
This is,
release the
yeah.
remastered version. You'll have people
Separately.
jumping. Yeah, you'll have people jumping through the hoops. This is all they got to do. Check this out.
Especially
Check this
me.
out, Lurk. This is all they got to do. Don't make another Call of Duty. Don't move muscle. Just make the remastered version. Just make the remaster and release that. everybody will
Yeah.
hop on it. Then they'll start loving Call of Duty again because they got that original feel what made the game fun in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Stop trying to
Yeah.
do this old copycat stuff and trying to make a couple extra dollars, man. Stop that. That's my opinion on it. But I don't know if they're gonna do it or not. Like I said, that's speculation. That's hearsay. So
Yeah. So.
yeah, man. But
Oh,
what's up, Trip?
wow. Well, back to the bugs and fixes and stuff like that. Nowadays, there's something called a day one patch for certain games. As we all know, Alert just bought, well, not just bought, but as soon as Friday the 13th was released, Alert bought it. Whenever we hop on, there is no one online. There was absolutely no one online. This was like 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
but there
Yeah.
was no one online. And I have searched up a video, and I saw that there was hardly anybody playing because of all the bugs, and there was even a full graphics comparison through first the PS4 versus the Xbox One, and the Xbox One looked like crap.
Really?
It looked very bad. It looked like somebody just like beefed up it looked like somebody just beefed up the 360 a little bit, and bam, that's Friday the 13th.
Wow, man. Are
But
you
they got the
serious?
patch implemented. It looks like the PS4. I can't really compare it to the PC because that is much more powerful, but it's it's comparable to the PS4 now. Instead of looking like some drunk dudes in the garage made it.
Yeah. Well,
It's
let
like,
me.
hey, here's your game,
Well, here,
$59.99.
Well, here's the thing, women. Did now with all this patch that they released? Because I think I remember that it was like a 3 or 5 gig patch. My
Yeah.
question in that is, are there more people on the servers now? You know.
We'll
I
have
would
to
hope
find out.
so.
We have to
I mean,
find out.
I think so. I'm hoping
Yeah,
so
it's
anyway because
yeah,
it was released as far as featured in the store. So
yeah. It
Okay.
was the top
and
paid game. It was the number one top paid game in the Xbox
yeah,
store.
Well, y'all
So
about to
whenever.
check us out doing some Friday the 13th to in a future broadcast because we're actually we haven't touched it. Lurt had got it and we just was gonna hold off. We wanted to make sure that y'all would be able to experience it with us. We look at that game like hide and go seek, you know what I'm saying? So we wanted to kind
yeah,
of take y'all through with us. We didn't just want to have fun without y'all. So we were just holding off and waiting, but we're about to actually get into it, and we're gonna share that broadcast with y'all as well. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I've seen when some of the streamers when it first came out, they had some real goofy graphic looking stuff. And I was like, "Wow, man, this looks kind of weird." I mean, I don't know why it's one of the top paid games, but it looked weird. But the whole experience around it, as far as getting people to play with you, I think that's what was unique. And you got to remember this: it was a unique idea. See, people like
Yep.
unique ideas. See, that's where J May was talking about those carbon copies. That's what make people get turned off. When you have a unique idea, it was bringing like a horror hide and go seek game. That's what it really looks like to me, and that's what I kind of get
Yeah.
the idea that it is. It's like hide and go seek with Jason as as the go seeker. You know what I'm saying?
that's the
So
worst.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. And
But
and
you
they
gotta
gave him
remember, there's. Oh, hold on. You
no.
can you can
I was just gonna
talk.
say, and
You can talk.
they gave him certain abilities to seek you out real easy. But no, go ahead,
Oh,
Trip. What was you gonna say, bro?
yeah.
I was saying, well, so at least you're able. There's somehow, I don't understand how, but there's somehow you're able to kill Jason. Somehow you're able to, and there's also other ways that you can escape via calling the police, finding all the parts for a car. I mean, like, who takes apart a car in a cabin? I mean, I don't
I
understand that,
think
but
it's probably Jason who done took the car apart. Like, do you know me?
Yeah.
You
Is
know what
this
I'm
a
Most
little
saying?
bit too much
likely.
information?
Most likely.
Well, I mean, I think we just going on basically what some of the stuff we heard, Silk. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah,
Because
we
we
already
haven't touched it.
already
Yeah,
saw.
we haven't touched it yet. So we're actually about to find that out. We won't get too deep into it. I'm with you. She don't want us to give it all
Yep.
away. We want to experience it with with the audience. So that's what we gonna do. Silk, you got something for us, girl? What you
Well,
got?
all I can say is like you guys, with these games and everything, I'm trying to figure out what can I play that help me spiritually instead of always this physical.
Yeah.
Tortopia. Tortopia coming to a store near you.
Yes, yes,
Tortopia.
yes.
Look,
No
if
other suggestions about that one.
I'm gonna tell you, Silk. I wish there was a strong Christian gaming company out there that would release stuff that would not only edify the body of Christ, but will be so entertaining that the world would even want to get into it. It's not
One
it's
day
not happening
That's what
yet,
I'm talking
but
about.
yeah,
it
but
will happen.
you know it's gonna happen. And there has been some great ideas laid out there. I'm not gonna get into it, no spoilers, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just saying, when it goes down, it's gonna go down. But now the only thing that we kind of have to offer us in that realm, if you even that, it's not even really in that realm at all. But would be some more family games, and that's where
Oh
you
yeah.
know you really come in the first place, is with the family games. How do you feel about the family games that are out there? Do they feel more family to you, or do you still feel like you're isolated from the family element with all these games that are being released?
It depends, because there's some that I feel bring the family together where everybody can play at one time,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not having to wait or just sit back and watch like four people playing when you got a family of 7 to 8 people.
Right.
But I just really think that as long as we get those ones where it's not like two, three, four players, then we're good. Um, the games that we like to
Yeah.
play. That's really, to me, is the best for family.
Well, the
So
ones that I can think that you're talking about more or less would have to be like the Jackbox ones, that you have
yeah,
so many
exactly.
people, yeah, that can sit there with a device and play. And we have a ball, and actually, you can incorporate your audience. Your audience can watch, and even some of them can participate. You can only, I think the biggest game that I seen was that you can have like maybe 8 people, something like
Yeah.
that.
I think so.
Um, but
Yeah, it's usually.
but that's even cool in itself, because as many as of us that play, and then we can always open it up for one other person, one other guest to come in and play and have them on our broadcast. Man, we would love to do that. So stay tuned for that as well, y'all, because we will be doing a lot of unique things, especially on the website, www.rotoheads.com. Check it out if you haven't. We're gonna be doing a lot of unique things, broadcasts, and tips. There's so much. We're not even gonna get into that on this episode, but the point being, I'm with you, Silk. I feel what you're saying. I wish kind of family game night is called family game night. I wish that had that element a little bit more. It's just more or less like
Yeah.
Hasbro's
That's another
board
one of those
games.
four players.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
It's like
exactly.
it's like another way of picking up a board game out of the store, but instead it's digitally.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
see, here's the thing
Yep.
though. If you could pick that up in the store, you notice picking it up in the store how many people can play. You know what I'm saying? There
Yeah.
would be like
That's
8, 9,
true.
10, 12 people that can play at one time. It would be a long game, but you have that many people that can play. They
Yeah.
limit it to a 4-player base, and it's like, well, dang, man, I feel like I'm on a Nintendo 64 where only 4 people can play if I have 4 controllers. You know what I'm saying? You only have that local aspect. You don't have that international and national feel to it, and that's really what you want to do. And I'm hoping that people are really listening. These developers are really listening to the people and what they really need, because you can only recycle the same idea so long over and over, and expect it to fizzle out eventually. And that's what I feel like when the first family game night came on. Y'all remember we used to have a ball on that junk. We would be on that junk all the time, but it was still
All the
limited
time.
to 4 people. And then when 2 came out, we was like, okay, this is cool. When 3 came out, we was like, man, what, change. I
What
mean,
is
we was like,
this?
it's cool, yeah, but we
Trash.
was like, come on,
It's
change it
just
up.
added games.
Yeah,
It
that's
literally
all it was. That's all it was. Now, Let's go back to it. You remember when the first family game night came out? What was the best aspect? I'm gonna let y'all chime in. What was the best aspect about that game?
Well, for
Man, it
me,
I like Picturica.
oh my goodness,
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
well, the best for me was
Picture
that
Rica.
sorry. Oh my goodness, man.
Okay,
Sorry,
anybody else?
yo.
Ness, what about you?
Um.
The
I
push
can't
up,
really pick.
The push up.
That's my
I like
line.
Jenga though.
Jenga. Okay, what about you, J man?
Battleship.
Okay, now
Yeah, I
watch.
was actually gonna
Yeah,
say
I
that
like that
too,
Battleship
but
Now,
I
too.
now
like
you
Jenga.
notice each one of y'all mentioned a different game, right? Except
Yeah.
Lurt and Silk. Y'all mentioned the same one, Picturica. The one that was the best, the thing that was the best was party mode because it would take all of them, it would keep mixing it up, make it random.
Oh
You
yeah,
never
I
knew
Yeah.
what you
forgot
was
about
getting.
that.
You never knew
Yeah.
what you was gonna have to do. I mean, they kept you had to take the bag of letters and shake it until they get hot, but make sure they don't burn through the bag. You see what I'm saying? It was like they
Yeah.
Oh,
made
that's
it real
cool.
unique. They get it's those unique ideas. That's the whole point. It was those unique ideas. But I'm hoping that family gaming comes back to the forefront of the Xbox One, the whatever the new Xbox One, two, three, whatever they're calling it.
Xbox One X.
Xbox
Man,
One XO, and
Yeah, because
then
you got to remember, it's just not
man.
those one player, two players that always playing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
Yeah.
Like
well,
when you
I
got a
mean,
big family like us, yeah, we need a game that we all can play on. I mean,
yeah,
come
for
well,
on.
real.
I mean, on the discussion, you guys are talking about, one player, two player, and unique games. And I think there is one unique game that I always
Uh-oh.
like. It's my favorite franchise, my favorite
Here
character
we
in it.
go.
And this is kind of weird because I just said I always play Call of Duty games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
wait, before you say
this
anything,
somehow,
hold up, freeze, freeze, freeze,
okay,
freeze,
okay,
freeze. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Because
okay,
if you're
okay.
thinking the same one I'm thinking, you better not take that. You cannot take it from me. That is all
Pretty
mine, and the
sure I
only
was
reason
thinking
why
the
you
same
like it
Oh,
is
you
thing.
because
see?
of me. The only
Oh,
reason.
she's my
Don't
favorite
you ever?
character.
Where'd you get that from?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you get that idea
Oh,
from? Where'd
she's
that
my
come
favorite
from?
Snap.
GL.
See?
Holla, what is it?
See?
What is it,
Oh
Lurt? What
my
is it?
goodness.
Holla, let it know.
Man, Metro
I
Prime
knew
Point.
You
it.
better say that
I
junk,
knew it.
baby.
You
You
guys
better
know
say
I
that
already
junk.
knew.
Oh my goodness. If they disappoint, I'm gonna choke Nintendo. I swear, man. Man. Do you know how long me and Lurt have been waiting for a
Man, I've
Metroid
been
Prime
waiting
to
so
be like the
long.
first? Oh my goodness, and this seems just like the first. Go ahead, Lurt. Go on, Lurt.
Is it
There's,
Spit it.
really?
there's
It
nothing. There's
seems like
nothing.
it, but I don't know. Go ahead, Lurt.
Man, they even played. All they played was the little intro or whatever else like that, which is from Metroid Prime, the original game that made Metroid Prime so great. And I always love Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is my absolute favorite, unless Metroid Prime 4 is going to be the best. But I've been waiting for years and years and years, just waiting and asking and wondering when is Metroid Prime going 4 going to come
Yeah,
out.
it'll be probably
And
good if they don't
finally,
make it too cartoonish or nothing.
Well, see, that was
Mm.
it. Now think
nah,
about it. That's remember how Silk was. She was like, I can't get into it, and I was like, well, how? I mean, I was mind boggled. I was like, out of any game, how can you not get into this? Silk is she loves a storyline. Okay, if the
yeah.
storyline is not compelling or not understandable, she's like she'll disconnect from it. I
Mhm.
understood the storyline from the aspect of playing the game. And let me put it to you like this. I was understanding what I had to do as I was doing it. I didn't know why I was doing it at first. I was like, how I get on this planet? Why all my suit get gone? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Why,
Suit
dang,
get
they
gone.
done sunk a ship and I got to try to hurry up and get out. What's going on? But that's what made it interesting to me because I was finding out what was going on as you
As
progress.
you go.
Yeah, Silk wants to
Yeah.
know from the door, hey, what am I doing here? Somebody better tell me something, or I'm not going
Exactly.
nowhere. See, but that's just the unique of the kennel. That's just how it is. But that's the main thing that really struck me about Metroid Prime. It was so I don't know. It was so engaging for me. Me and Lurt would just sit there and just play
And
it
play
and
for
play
hours.
it and play it, and then I would get tired of playing, and I would hand him the stick, and he would play and play and play, and then be like, okay, let me get the stick back. We get the stick back. You're getting too far.
Also,
But
another thing I like about I'm sorry, I didn't
no,
mean to
you
cut you
strizzle. You
off.
strizzle.
But one thing like kind of ties back to my point about originality is that when the whole part of you discovering the storyline as you're playing, that's unique in itself because in me personally, I haven't played a game that did that yet. So I would say that Metroid was probably the first game that I've experienced that actually did something like that, and I think that was a really cool concept they did. I mean, that's my opinion, but
You know what? No, I kind of
I
feel
just
you. I feel you on it. I don't know if any other game really did that. I'm sure there are, but I can't name them off the top of their head. It
yeah.
was like it was almost like mysterious. I remember some of those stuff you wouldn't even know what it is until you scanned it, and then
Right.
I remember we would beat the game and we wouldn't even really understand okay, what did we beat? You know what I'm saying? We know we
Right.
beat
Right.
this big creature, okay, but what was it? We went back
What
through the
is his
game and
name?
start
What's his
scanning
backstory and
exactly. We start
everything?
scanning stuff, and these log books will open up. You got to take time and read. So all y'all people who don't like reading, you're not gonna like Metroid, man. Just take some time and read it.
That is
Or
so
or
You know what I'm
true.
Zelda?
saying? But
Yeah.
you would have to open up these logbooks and then you would understand the lore behind it. You'd be like, oh, that's what that thing is. Oh, that's why that thing got killed. Like, okay, the last time we played it, we was walking around down the lower bottom of I forget which area it was. It might have been the frigid area. And there was one of these space pirates that came out, and I can't remember either it was Lurt or it was J May that shot open that the
That was me.
Metroid. Yeah, one of the Metroids was caught in
That
this
was in the
tank.
snow thing.
Yeah, okay, that was frigid. They was caught in one of these tanks, and there was a space pirate that was trying to kill him. Instead of the Metroid jumping on Samus, it jumped on the space pirate and just sucked his head off until he died. And we was just cracking up because we had no idea that would happen. You know what I'm saying? But that's the uniqueness about the game. You don't understand until you start scanning them things. Those things or they don't care who you are. They'll jump on anything. They'll jump on you
Right.
when you're in a ball. They don't care if you're another creature. They're gonna hop on you. And so, like I'm saying, man, I'm excited about that game. I hope they make it just as good or even better than the first one. I'm hoping it's better than
Yeah.
the first one. I was a little mad when I seen click switch. I was like, oh my goodness, not click switch, man. Come
Oh.
on, man.
Yeah,
You
I,
know,
I was just hoping that it was gonna be on the Wii U and on the Nintendo Switch,
yeah.
but it is
It's
what it is.
just
Nintendo got what it got, but I don't care because Metro. I finally see the four in Metro Prime. I'm good. I'm done. I'm out.
I hear you.
Peace.
I ain't got nothing else to say about that. Metroid Prime 4, make it happen. You got my name anyway, baby. So make it happen.
Yeah. Well, give me some Laura Croft or some Mass Effect, and I'm
Well,
good.
well,
Oh,
no, you didn't.
yeah.
No, okay. Now let's bring that into play in light of Metroid Prime. Okay, the whole thing about Lara Croft is you had to understand the story previously to understand kind of what was going on, in post. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
still
But
good
no,
though.
no, no. Watch this. Watch this. This was the thing though, Silk. Remember when I start playing it, it was like I would explain to you, oh no, that this happened before, so yada yada, and you would catch it, and you were like, oh, I'm feeling this. So instantly she got into the game because she start connecting with the character. If you have games where you can't connect with characters, it makes the game kind of useless. You feel disconnected. You don't even feel like you have no loyalty playing this dude. You don't mind jumping him off a cliff. But when you play Lara Croft or when you play Lara Croft, you do not want her to fall. And when she falls, she dies the most disgusting, gruesome ways. I'm
Yes,
like, why does she
man.
gotta die like that, man?
Oh
She's
Yeah.
getting beat
God.
up by a bear, falling on the spikes where the spikes is going through the top of her, bottom of her neck to the top of her
Bullshit.
head. It's like, oh, come on, man. And you feel so bad for her because you're like, oh, you so pretty and you died so ugly, man. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, man, that's bad. But you know what? The other game that I connected with, just like that, and so did you, Silk, was that doggone Uncharted 4. You better holler about that right there.
Ooh.
That game and
Those
and
dancing
Uncharted
games.
4. Now check this out. Now they got a new Uncharted coming. Okay. I don't know if it's called Uncharted 5, I think it is, but they got a new Uncharted coming. But the Uncharted 4 was like the close of Nathan Drake. It was like the close of his whole, it was the closing of his life. And
Right.
when it ended, and I'm not telling you, y'all haven't seen it. I'm the only one who's seen it, y'all. Hey, check it out. I'm the only one that's seen this. They have not seen it. They got to see the ending of that game. The ending of that game, you understand why it's a climax. It's a terrific ending to a great saga, and it's a terrific multiplayer game. I feel like Uncharted 4 is the whole complete package, and they're releasing it for $19. You see what I'm saying? I'm
What?
like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
yeah,
What?
it's $19. You can get it for $19. You know what I'm saying?
Give me
It's
my.
it's terrific. It's a terrific game. So, but anyway, speaking of games with great storylines, I, I was
Oh.
I was confused.
Oh.
I was confused when I seen this. I was like, why does this dude sitting at a table with an American flag holding his hands
Oh.
open like he's
I know what
Jesus?
you're
Oh
talking
I
about.
no.
I
was
know what you're
like,
No.
talking
Are
what is
you?
this?
No.
What
Not
is
that.
going on with this? I
No.
mean, Far
No.
Cry 5,
Oh.
I
about.
That
just
is
could not understand. I was like, yo, what are y'all trying to imply here? You know what I'm saying? That boy trying to be savior or what's going on? Because it kind of it hit my spirit so hard. I instantly reject things that do not sit in my spirit. That's just how it is. And
yeah,
that
that's
was
how it
like
should
I
be.
did not sit right with that, man. I watched some of like I said, I watched the Ubisoft E3 press conference, and I was watching some of the gameplay, and I was watching some of the intros and whatever else they had, the trailers, and I start understanding a little bit more the characters around this dude, the characters that were fighting this dude. But this dude here, they made it where he doesn't even make sense. He doesn't even make
Mm.
sense what he's supposed to be doing. They said that he believes in his heart that the world is coming to a edge. It's coming to a climax, a part, and he feels like he has to save as many as possible. How are you saving as many as possible by killing them? I
Hmm.
don't get that
Exactly.
concept.
Mm.
You
You're
forcing
killing off the
people to
bad ones.
follow you. I mean, because if you think about that on the strength, that's jihad. That's all that type stuff. You know what I'm saying? How are you forcing somebody to follow you, or you murking them and that's saving them? That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? You're the reason why the world is coming to the end, to the
Mm.
edge. So why?
Hitler.
Who are you saving?
Exactly.
So
Hitler.
Who are you
Mm.
saving?
exactly. So I was just
Exactly.
like I said, that whole concept, the whole storyline, and I'm listening to the developer try to explain away his reasonings, and I'm like, bruh, you're losing me, man. You're losing me even more than when I was lost when I was just watching. You should have just let my mind wonder about it. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm.
explaining it is making me wonder about you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But I mean, I will give the game perks on this. It looks great. It really does.
Oh
It
yeah,
looks
It
like
does look
it
good.
looks
That
really good.
dog.
the
Yes,
dog.
yes.
Yeah.
I
Some of the
know.
mechanics of the game look really, really fun. How you can get other people to gather with you, how you can have them set up. It reminds me of the Star Wars. Oh goodness, what was that? Not Rogue Squadron, but where you can tell your squad where to go. I can't remember the name of that Star Wars game that I used to play so long ago, man. I'm sorry, it slipped my
Old
mind.
Republic.
They also do
There it
that on
is,
the
right there.
PC.
That no, not the Old Republic, not the Old Republic. It was the Star Wars.
Jedi Academy.
No, not that one either. That was one of my
Oh,
games, but it was
Wait
it
a
was
minute.
the
Wait
it
a
was the
minute.
Star Wars where you were
I
a
know what you're talking
squad
about.
of 4, and you had to tell your squad what to do. You would tell them to crack that door or
I know
shoot
what you're
that
talking
dude
about.
over there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this game has that mechanics of it in it, but its core story is one that's so edgy, and it doesn't really make
mm,
sense, when you think about it. And somebody will say, well, any radical or any a cult isn't going to make sense. Yes, they're
They
not,
got it.
but at the same time, they're going to at least have some type of element where you can understand. It doesn't mean you agree with them at all, but at least you can understand. I don't understand this dude. I'm like, dude, how are you saying the world's coming to the edge and you're the one pushing it over there? I don't get that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So even though it has great, and I'm gonna let y'all chime in. I'm just getting everything out because I feel like I'm puking on the mic because I had this is so in me, man. I told y'all when I first seen that, I said, man, what the world, man? But
Man.
it felt like the game was disconnected. You know what I'm saying? But the elements, the look, the feel, the everything about that looked great. The game mechanics look great. Don't know about the sound, but the game mechanics look great. But other than that, man, it lost me. So y'all
Yeah.
y'all
I know
y'all
what
tell
you
me
Mhm.
what y'all think
Yeah,
about that
But
junk.
even
I
though
know
it's
what you're
not a
talking
game,
about,
Wonder
cause
Woman did the same thing. So
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
we
I
hey,
wouldn't
we'll
watch it.
talk about that
No.
afterwards, Silk. Oh my
No.
goodness,
Now
that's
I will
crazy.
say that when they use timeout, that's Star Wars Republic Commando.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Star
Yeah,
Wars
that's what he was
Republic
talking about.
Commando. That game was crazy good.
Fun.
I wish they would make a HD version of that or remaster
Yeah,
version of that. But yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Um Wonder Woman? Why'd you even bring that up? Why do we why
because
why
the
I
did we
was hoping we
conversation
wouldn't bring
like
that
hit
up.
home with it.
that game, I mean that movie, here's the thing. Tell us about the cartoon comparison to the movie. So maybe
Oh.
people will
Oh
understand
boy.
why we felt the way we did because a lot of people gave that good ratings. They gave the movie great ratings. They said, "Oh, it was a terrific movie." So we
It's
watched
like
it thinking
not.
it was going to be some terrific movie. But let me tell
Yeah.
y'all something. Honestly, do not listen to everybody's opinion about what's good. Okay, because there's going to be a lot of people calling bad good and good bad. So watch who you listen to because that movie lost me. I was like, oh my goodness, what is this, man? But
I
anyway,
I
Silk, what you?
What
mean
was the best part of the movie?
Oh, when it shut
the
The
off.
ending when it
ending.
shut
Oh, when it shut
off.
off.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no better climax in the world.
We
And
didn't even
Lurt was
have to
like,
sit through the
and
credits.
that's the end of that.
Wait
Exactly.
till
Look,
next time
No
you know what
when
I'm saying?
credits.
Wonder Woman becomes
We
Wonder
didn't even have to.
Woman.
But no, man, it's like the whole movie. Honestly, the whole movie led up to something that the cartoon didn't. It was like, wait a minute, the
Yeah.
cartoon was saying this, and the movie is saying that, and the cartoon it was set in two different times too. The cartoon was set in more of a modern time, and the movie was set in like the 1940s,
Well,
World War
World
II.
War
1900s.
Yeah.
You know,
Two.
Stuff
it's
like
like
that.
I don't get that. I'm kind of confused. Like, who's writing your script and why did they write it? So but anyway, I wasn't with it. I didn't enjoy it. So that was my take on that.
Yeah.
Nessie, what you got, girl?
Oh, we kind of got off the subject of family games,
Yeah.
but one that I do like is Breath of the Wild. Even
Mm.
though it's only one player, I really like it. I like the graphics and stuff like that, and the fact that you can explore a lot. You
You
know,
like when he start cooking that food and then make that little funny
I
noise and
made some
Honestly,
it be,
that's my
disgusting
favorite
meals on
part
there.
of the aspect of that game, to be honest, is like how you're able to mix different stuff and to create different stuff.
Yeah.
Like me personally, I like food, and when food is implemented into a game, it's like, oh, I got to try this. You got to
Yeah.
try all these different things
well,
and
here
It's kind of
you
like
can
a
straight
survival mode.
try a sautéed geese eye with bat wings. I mean,
Exactly.
you
Like
know,
with
Yeah.
bones
what the
and wings
world?
and
That is
They
eyes.
so
have you cooking
disgusting.
some of the weirdest combinations on that game.
Put some soy
But
sauce
yes,
in that thing.
Ness, I'm
yeah.
with
I don't
you.
think you were supposed to though.
But don't worry, you'll be able to tell if you make something bad or not, cause
Yeah, they
you'll be hearing a
censor
bunch
it.
of glass break like.
Man, that junk, that I'm with Ness. That game is really fun. And see,
Hmm.
when we were talking about it being a family game, it's not family as far as like the family can play it at the same time. It's one person plays it while the family watches because it has so
Yeah.
many aspects to it. It has great exploration. But them shrines, man, them shrines with them dudes.
Oh man.
It sounds like
There's
somebody's in there
a
blowing a
whole
tuba.
lot.
Can you please shut
I
off? You
Uh,
shut the music off when I come in there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how long are you gonna be trapped behind that little cage breathing?
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
dude's
making the
skinny.
same
That
Yeah.
dude's
yeah,
noise.
like
skinny.
he
Well, of
looks
course
like
he gonna
they
be
look
skinny,
like they
man. He
don't
don't
even
eat.
eat.
Yeah, you gotta. What they probably should have you do is cook some keys eyes and go ahead and bring it to him.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Make
Cause that
sure
dude
that censored
malnutrition.
food.
Oh,
Well, dang. I,
That's just
I, Wow, look at that pop-up photo there. Yeah.
On
That's
one
that's
hand,
Hey, look, check it out. That's what that dude that be in that little area in that shrine look like, except for he a dude.
Exactly.
Just like that. You need to
Yeah.
go ahead and cook him something. You know what I'm saying? That's ridiculous.
on that note, do you know what Do you know what Lurk called Samus?
I know what I'm about to ask you to do is pull your mic back because my ear about to bleed, homie.
Yeah, dude.
What he calls him?
Wow.
He was like, but she's my favorite gay elf. I was
Well,
like,
what? Samus?
yeah.
Oh, you got the wrong one, man. No, two problems. Two
Exactly.
problems.
It's my favorite.
Two problems there. Okay, one, Samus ain't gay. Two, Samus ain't an elf. So you got it all jacked up right there, bruh. But yeah,
Said that about Link, not Samus.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he said that.
We
Link
call
is my-
Samus Spamus. How about that?
Spamus. Oh my god.
Yeah, she always spamming rockets.
Well, that's because y'all be trying to play her on Smash Brothers. Y'all need to keep her in the confines of where she is, man. She's supposed to be on Metroid Prime 4. You know what I'm saying? Especially when
Yeah.
she got my name. You know what I'm saying? That's just,
You better not be trying to ditch.
Anyway.
You better not be trying to ditch Silk.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
what
man.
you meant when
Right.
you said that.
But
Copyright.
anyway.
Let's not go there with the names and
Yeah,
stuff.
you ain't got to worry about that. Y'all ain't got to worry about that. Ain't nobody going nowhere. Anyhow, y'all, we thank y'all for coming and hanging out with the kennel here on the RotoHeadz Broadcast Magazine. We hope that you will come and tune in again. But until then, y'all stay up.
Dun, 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 dun.
Stay golden.
Stay golden.
Mission failed.
We'll get him next time.
Yeah.